There ain't no point in putting all this time and effort into improving your English if you don't have the confidence to get out there and use it to kick ass in the real world. And that's where Julian Northbrook's 7 Secrets to Speaking English with Extraordinary Confidence comes in. It may surprise you to hear this, but I, Julian Northbrook, was not always the person of confidence that you see here before you right now. Especially when I was younger, I struggled a lot with social situations in particular, and this really destroyed my confidence. And it wasn't until I began to get older, and particularly when I went to Japan and learned Japanese as a second language, that I really started to gain confidence in myself and in my everyday situations as a speaker of both Japanese as a second language, but also English as a first language. And in this video, I want to share with you 7 things that I have learned over the years about using a second language, English in your case, confidently. The first thing is that you've got to understand that confidence in English comes from doing first and becoming confident later. The entrepreneurial writer Seth Godin says that charismatic, confident people don't become leaders. Rather, it's the other way around. People become leaders, which makes other people see and perceive them as confident, charismatic people. Or to put it another way, really most of us are faking it till we make it. First, you've got to start. Take charge of your life, of your English, and of the situations that you use English in. Get out there, actually use your English, and confidence will follow as a result of that. My second surprising secret to speaking English with extraordinary confidence is to know that the loudest, boldest, brashest people out there usually actually aren't the most confident. Actually, the people with the most confidence are usually the quieter, humble people among us. Now, this is a mistake that I very much made when I was younger, when I was at art college, back in the day, and I wanted to be seen as a more confident person. I went too far with it, and it simply made me appear to be arrogant and really full of myself. And it wasn't until I learned to rein myself in and approach the world with more humility that I began to actually understand that confidence is, and here we move into tip number 3, something that only comes when you become comfortable with the things that you can't do, as well as the things that you can do. True confidence isn't about being able to do everything, isn't about being able to step into every situation, use English in all of those conversation situations perfectly without making any kind of mistakes. It's actually more about being comfortable with vulnerability, with the fact that you may make mistakes, with the fact that you may not be perfect, but knowing that it's okay to do it anyway. Number 4, confident people don't compare themselves to other people. The actor and all-round Hollywood pretty boy Robert Lowe said, "You can't compare your insides to other people's outsides." What he meant by this is that you can't look internally at yourself, at your own English, at your own performance, and compare that with what you see on the surface of somebody else, because you don't know what's going on in their head. You don't know what's gone on in the background, in their life, in their past, the experiences they may have had, the amount of time and effort they may have put into their English. And importantly, as I said, you don't know what's going on in their head. You may be thinking, oh, I'm so crap at English. This guy over here, he's so good. And actually, this guy over here, he's looking at you and he's thinking, oh man, she's so good at English. I wish I was as good as that. So you've got to ask yourself, when I'm comparing myself to this person over there, is it realistic? And the answer is almost definitely no, because you can never compare yourself to other people. You're comparing apples to oranges. The only person that you can compare yourself to is the you of yesterday. Tip number 5 is my favourite and perhaps slightly unconventional. The famous playwright George Bernard Shaw once said that if you can't hide the family skeleton, best make it dance. What he meant by this is that if you have secrets, things that you are embarrassed about, that you want to keep hidden away from other people's eyes, well, the chances are you're never going to be able to truly keep that hidden. First of all, people are going to sense that you're embarrassed about something. If you're embarrassed about, for example, your pronunciation or your accent, and you try to hide that by speaking in a forced, fake-sounding American or British accent, and sorry guys, but that's how it usually ends up sounding, what is going to happen is that people are just going to see that you have some kind of insecurity around that part of yourself, and they're going to see you as an unconfident person. Whereas if you just say, screw it, you know what, I ain't a Brit, I ain't American, and you just bring your own accent out there and just bring it to the forefront and just say, this is me, this is how I sound. Yeah, I'm Italian, I speak with an Italian accent. Yeah, I'm from Taiwan, I speak like a Taiwanese person. Got a problem with that? People see the same you in a totally different way. They see you as being a much more secure, stronger, confident person, because instead of trying to hide this part about yourself that you don't like, you just whack it out there and make it a feature of yourself. Even if your accent is perhaps a little bit difficult to understand, you're still going to be better off making a feature of that than trying to hide it. Of course, if you are difficult to understand, you're going to need to work on that, work on the clarity of your English. But that doesn't mean you should try to hide it for the time being. Point number 6 relates very much back to point number 3, but I think it deserves a point of its own. Confident people, although they may feel fear about the situations where they need to use English, they don't let that fear, and certainly not fear of making mistakes and screwing up with their English, hold them back. Fear of making a mistake, of using the wrong word, of not being able to explain something well, of not understanding what people say to you, should never be an excuse not to do the things that you want to do in English. You should get out there, get on with it, and get them done anyway. People will respect the fact that you are trying, so just try. Now, of course, and this now brings us into the final point, point number 7. This does not mean it's okay to completely forget about your mistakes and always screw up your English. People will respect you for trying. But if you get complacent about that, if you become lazy about that and just think, well, whatever, screw it, people can understand what I'm saying, even if I do keep on making these mistakes and using confusing English, eventually people are going to lose patience and they're going to get pissed off about it. Yes, people will respect you for trying. No, they won't forgive you for consistently doing the same thing again and again and again. Learn from your mistakes. Try to make every conversation that you have better than the previous. Yes, it's fine to suck right now, but don't suck forever. Every time you have a conversation, try to make it just that little bit better than the last one that you had, and over time, short and slowly but surely, iteratively, over time, your English is going to get better and better and better. If you need help, if you're not sure what to do, or simply like what I have to say, head over to doingenglish.com, enter your email address in the box provided, and sign up for my free daily emails. These emails are designed to help you speak better English. Every day at about 8 a.m. Island time, an email from yours truly is going to hit your inbox, packed with all kinds of tips, stories, anecdotes, and ideas for speaking extraordinary English. Doingenglish.com, stick your email address in the box provided. This, then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is it from me, Julian Northbrook, for another video. If you're new to this channel, why not subscribe? Give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. If you hated it, give it a thumbs up anyway. Leave a comment, say hello, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. But that doesn't mean you should try to hide it for the time being. Smash. Dosta. Get it. Yeah. It's just filming of another video. Let me call them. What's the place called? Hello, good afternoon. Are you open today? Okay, just to check, you are the blue building near SuperValue, is that correct? Okay, because actually my wife is stood outside and she's very confused about where she should go because she said all the doors are locked and I can't get in. So you'll...